Ayya. Welcome to the new moon Uposatha here at Dhammadharini Monastery. I have the good fortune to be here due to having hurt my back. So I had planned to be at our Aranya Bodhi Awakening Forest Hermitage on the Sonoma Coast. And after my long sit on Sankamita Day, then my back is still reminding me about it. It's getting better. This is anicca. So I have the good fortune of being here together with you for our first of 6 Uposatha programs. I'll be joining you for 5 of them. It's the new moon, and now here at Dhammadharini Monastery, it's evening time. I know some of you may be in a different time zone, so it might even be early morning for you somewhere in another part of the world. So welcome to everyone to this first of our 6 Uposatha programs during our winter rains retreat. We had our Vasa during the traditional rainy season, the monsoon season of South and Southeast Asia, and now it's the winter rainy season here in Northern California. We had some sprinkles coming just before coming in here, and it is a dark and cool and damp evening of the new moon here in Northern California. So we're going to be beginning with a little bit of introduction to this program as it's the first time. And then we'll have sitting meditation together for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'll offer some guidance in sitting meditation. Then we'll sit silently together. So this is your window on our winter retreat time here. And I hope that the good energy from all of the monastics, the bhikkhunis, seminaries, anagarikas, nekama, dedicated practitioners who are here together, I hope that good energy will be shared with you as we're united here together in this way on the Uposatha, and also for all of you taking this dedication to give your precious time and life energy to your heart's meaning of what is beautiful and valuable and worthy to gather together with the Sangha on this day, as the Buddha himself is said to have recommended long ago, even in his lifetime. There are many things we do in Buddhism these days that we doubt the Buddha may have never even heard of, but they become Buddhist traditions. The Uposatha, gathering together on the new moon, the full moon. In countries like Sri Lanka, the full moon Uposatha is primary. Many people gather on the full moon at temples, monasteries, hermitages, to undertake the precepts, renew their refuges, listen to Dhamma talks, chant together, and generally dedicate the day to their sila, samadhi, and panya. And in the countries of Southeast Asia, where Theravada Buddhism is strong, then in many of them, actually, the monastic community will observe the Uposatha on the new moon and the full moon, as is part of our monastic Vinaya, to gather together and have our Uposatha karma. If the Sangha is gathered, then the recitation of the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Patimokkha together, then also listening to Dhamma teachings, and often the whole community will gather together, but not only on the new moon and the full moon, but also on the lunar quarters. So if you feel like you would even like to undertake the Uposatha commitment even further, it's possible, like the Sabbath, to undertake 1 day a month on the full moon, or 2 days a month fortnightly on the new moon and full moon, or 4 days a month, including all the lunar quarters. There are even those that the Buddha is said to have mentioned, if you wish, you can even then double up on those days. And so then have 2 days, 4 times a month. Then you have 8 days of retreat and dedicated to practice, or coming and drawing near to the monastic community. For those who feel a strong sense of affinity with the monastic life, but aren't ready to enter the monastic life for whatever reason, or even know in this lifetime that it's not going to happen, and yet still there's this opportunity to gather together at these regular times with the community and undertake precepts and refuges together, and really dedicate one's heart and mind and time to meditation, to listening to and discussing the Dhamma, to deepening and furthering one's practice of sila, one's moral virtue, ethics, and integrity, even to doing good and generous things, whether random acts of loving kindness or very deliberate and planned ones, secretly or together with others in a way that's seen and known. So really, there's no limit on what you can do, what you can determine for your practice together. There are even those, in fact, who will take the 4 days of the month, the lunar quarters, and then have a retreat day for 3 days around each of those. So the day before, the day of the lunar quarter, and then the day after, which means then 3 out of every 7 days of the week is dedicated in this way. I know some monastics even who have undertaken this particular practice for several years. I'm not sure about now, but the Venerable Bhikkhu Analayo would undertake 3 or 4 days of the week, each week, for retreat, and then work on scholarship and teaching for the other remaining days of the week. He found that to be a really good balance for him. So according to the circumstances of your life, it said in Pali, yatha sati, yatha balang, whatever, with all of your mindfulness and strength, whatever you're able to do with the circumstances of your life, to really bring your intentions to bear. And then in a way, we have this expression to grab the bull by its horns in English, but really it would be better said to take the wheel in your own hands, to recognize that in terms of your practice of the path, in terms of the path, to generate the awareness that the wheel is in your hands, and the gas and the brakes are also with you. You're not only in a runaway vehicle that has no wheel and has no gas and has no brakes. It can seem like that sometimes. This is one of the characteristics of samsara without Dhamma. Without Dhamma, it can seem like a runaway vehicle, right? But gaining the sense of the Dhamma wheel, being present, vision of the Dhamma, and then really touching the Dhamma with your whole body, feelings, mind, then you start to further gain the sense of actually being in the driver's seat, or being at the helm in a way. If not with the entire world, at least with your karmas of body, speech, and mind, which are the basis for all of your experience of the world, at least. So I'll let you know what we're going to be having for our Uposatha program now, this evening, and in these next 6 evenings during our winter retreat together. I think you'll see, for all those who are gathering, who are making a practice commitment together, as we gather together every 2 weeks, our monastic community, those who are on retreat, and for all of you with your dedication, how the quality of our practice and the energy of that commitment amongst us, how that's going to grow and strengthen, and how that will be a support for all of us together. So we'll be having to start about 20 minutes of sitting meditation together with some guided meditation time and then silent meditation time. Then also about 25 or 30 minutes of Dhamma reflection, followed by about a half hour for Q&A and Dhamma discussion. This part, I think, is so important. The Buddha mentioned amongst the highest blessings, etam mangalamutamang, both listening to the Dhamma at suitable time, as well as discussing the Dhamma frequently, yes, as amongst the highest blessings. So in the end, we'll have a few minutes for closing dedication, sharing of blessings, spreading goodwill amongst one another and out into our dear world that has so many kinds of various things going on. We can offer something good and share something good into the mix of our world. That's part of our agenda, actually, together with this. So let's begin now with some meditation time. So I invite everyone to find your best meditation posture. Sensitive to your environment, the environment radiating from here. You can hear the ringing stillness in this meditation hall. The goodness of all of the meditation, Dhamma sharing, also undertaking of refuges and precepts. That's happened here today. Thinking about sharing that and spreading that out to everyone who's joining through this kind of miraculous medium. In ourselves, sensitive to our dedication, the dedication that we've made, that's drawn us together today, this dedication in ourselves. Generating, radiating, and holding that dedication, feeling how we can hold it in a way that's aligned with the middle way. Not too tight, not too hard, but upright, upstanding in ourselves, with balance, awareness, sense of integrity, virtue. Notice if you feel any gladness about that. Where you sense that, what it feels like. Also the sense of holding something, not too loose, but holding gently, clearly, consistently, in touch. Aware of the body from head to foot. A sense of the whole body sitting. Points of touch. Recognizing these points of sensation, like the markers by which we create the image or feeling of the body. Almost like a constellation. Aware of the breath moving in the body. Whole body of breath, or the whole body breathing. Noticing where you feel the breath. Letting yourself get comfortable with breathing. Relaxing and balancing with the breath. Feeling of the breath in the body. Noticing your sense of awareness, of seeing and knowing. Together with the touch, contact, sensation. A feeling and perception of seeing and knowing. Not tight, not forcing, not binding. Also not so loose or diffuse that we lose the sense of being in touch with this awareness. If you have that sense of being in touch, gently, calmly, steadily, with full awareness, it's not forced or hard or grasping or binding, but is open and steady and present. You may notice how comfortable that is. How good and healthy it is. For a sentient being to be sentient, to be present and aware. Even reflective. Notice how the quality of the breath changes. Sense of the quality of touch with the breath, the body changes. How beautiful just breathing can be. When we're aware, with momentary awareness, not in a forced or controlled way. It's like light sparkling on water. And if we become controlling, how uncomfortable that is. How the ease is lost. Finding that golden balance. It's so natural, beautiful, easeful, and pure, refreshing. Almost like being bathed by the inner bathing, as the Buddha, the Blessed One, said. Even if we have places of pain, see if we can breathe into them in this way. With kindness, openness, clear awareness. And invite what's holding or tight around those places to be held with kindness, awareness, held in the knowing of that pain. Heart of kindness, compassion, appreciation. And be bathed in that awareness, washed in that awareness through the breath. It's not to try to change anything, just holding it, seeing it, breathing into it with kindness, compassion, appreciation, awareness. Just being aware of it as it is. Understanding everything is in flux, everything is momentary, everything is impermanent. We watch it shift and change according to nature in real time. Without forcing, just according to causal conditionality. The great soup. As we add some new ingredients, naturally the flavor of the soup changes, evolves. This is just nature. Coming near to the end of our meditation time, can breathe in, breathe out. Become sensitive to our bodies again, a different way. Becoming aware of the whole body again. Presence of the body within the environment. Touch points. Quality of our experience. Mind and feelings imbuing the body. Noticing, sensing, feeling, touching the quality of our experience. perceptions and feelings? Can we see and know them without grasping them? As if a lotus held gently and delicately with full awareness, full presence in our palms, in front of our heart. Our whole heart, our whole body being that lotus and that touch. How awareness is radiant.
Ayya Tathaloka Theri Sahampati Patanjali Anadivaram Ayya Tatha Santi Tasata Paraja Pajatika Ese tu Dhammam Anukam Pimam Pajam.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang Dhammang Sanghang Namasami. So I'd like to offer my gratitude and highest reverence to the Buddha, to the most excellent and liberating Dhamma, to all of the noble members of the Sangha, especially those who have become completely awakened in the Buddha's time, and since then, down to those who are the Ayya Sangha of this present day and time, those who have entered into the Arahant path and have realized stages of awakening and their fruits. Also, I'd like to express and share my gratitude with everyone who has offered all of the facilities here, this entire monastery, and all of the supports to our practice that are here. Also, these electronic devices and tech support. those who are managing and helping and supporting in so many ways, and who offered our alms food here today, medicines, those who've offered these robes. Every single thing here is an offering, is a precious gift of the kindness and generosity of very many people, and our forest hermitage, likewise on the Sonoma coast, the land, the kutis, the cabins, and everything there that's been given, that's been offered for the support of this path of practice. So my gratitude to all Kalyanamitas, Dhamma friends, supporters, benefactors, donors, everyone who's also offered moral support, because really moral support is, I think, perhaps amongst all of the things most important. If we have moral support, if we really feel we have moral support, even we don't have physical things, but we have the moral support, it's not bad. We can live even with just one set of clothes or less, and even sleep without a bed, or even eat just once a day, very little, or live without any money of our own, or very, very little in terms of our own personal possessions. But if we have moral support, externally and internally, if we've generated that moral support, if we have Dhamma, then all of this is good. Even the people that have strong moral support, then often they don't feel like they want to get so many physical things unless it's to do something nice and good for others, for the community, or for a good turn for others, because we feel like we have enough ourselves. The only thing that could make it better and more beautiful is giving and sharing. And if we feel we have significant amounts of moral support, or I'll say Dhamma, like in ourselves, at hand, if we feel like that Dhamma is abundant, that Dhamma is replete, if we feel I'm not lacking in Dhamma in any way, I have more than enough Dhamma, and my heart, I have more than enough heart for all of it, then we don't mind so much of what people do and what they're striving for is coming from a sense somehow of lack. And then advertisers, or people who have been influenced by them, then say, you need this or that or the other thing to help fill the sense of lack. And at the same time, kind of like some soft drinks that have like sugar and salt and water inside, and there's a lot of salt, and like, here, quench your thirst with this, but there's salt inside. So it's kind of a funny thing. So many things are like that. There's this illusory promise that it's going to be helpful and really do something for you. Even sometimes some of the things are better than others, right? Some things are really just downright poison. The idea is it's going to get you something good or do something good, but it's really toxic. Just so problematic. Other things are a bit better. Like you feel like, coming to a monastery is going to be good. And then there are the good things, there are the helpful things, there are the blessed things, but then also, darn it, it's like you bring your habits with you and the people are human. And then they've got all their human things going on. And then also the other creatures are the nature they are, whether they're the flies that are, or the ants, or all kinds of other creatures that are, or I think about our forest hermitage, like the mountain lions, they have to eat, right? So we just want them to be like lovely in our space and non-violent, and not to be eating the cute cottontail rabbits, and not right. Or like we're so happy the bald eagles are coming back, but then the bald eagles are like coming in what? Eating animals. Osprey is so fantastic, and then the osprey are going to hunt the fish, but we love the fish. So there's all of that, and our humanity is also in so many ways often even sometimes even more convoluted, and there can be even more distortions because we have such amazing minds and mental capabilities. We can think up so many kinds of things. So, we can weave cloth in a way, and we know how to make knots, and then we can also do these things with our minds in extremely complicated patterns, just like we can do that with the cloth or the lovely artistic forms that you see here that are so beautiful. Patachara Theri here has come to join us, sitting here in this position for the first time. Great Arahanti, or beautiful Buddha image with the kind of lotus, double lotus symbol is like sublime Buddhist art. Yes, all created by our human imagination in contact with the world. Yes, so we see how we can do this internally and externally. But first it was imagination, the symbol of the lotus and the double lotus like this, and then with our contact, touch with the world, then so many of the things come to be manifest in form. We recognize then how our mind and our imagination, then through touch contact with our bodies, then also with our eyes, our ears, our nose, our taste, all of that. Then through these points of touch contact in our imagination, and the world of our experience is created, and can be so simple even. And also we can bring the touch to bear in a way that can touch the complexity of the things, and even can sometimes also relax them or put them in a kind of lovely position like this, or open like this, and unbind, make free, release. We can do all of that. Yes, all within our capabilities. We know how to bring together and hold, and we know how to release and open, and even to hold in an open way, and also to release into freedom. So amazing the qualities and capabilities that we have. Even these words, the ideas that they are evocative of for you. This is also just coming from guided and directed thought. Yes? So this is just applied and directed thought. Recognizing that, and then the impact all of the time. Whether we're just creating something in our minds unintentionally, haphazardly, or compulsively, habitually, or whether really we are guiding and directing, applying our thoughts intentionally, consciously, recognizing the creative role of our karmas, of our mind, and of our speech, and of our physical bodies, all of our physical actions, how these are the, really the creators of what we call our own life, our own presence in the world, and also completely the creators of our basis of experience. This is something that Ayya in one of her Dhamma talks recently this week was emphasizing that I found to be an extremely important point. She's come back to it again and again in the recorded videos and then also the audio recordings that we have with our monastic community here, and perhaps for some or many of you as well, been listening to. We have the great benefit that the videos of these recorded teachings have been shared with us for this period of long winter retreat. But these videos are the same as the audio recordings that we've shared, which should have been made accessible to you. And many of us are listening to the audio as well, because the videos are the property of Ayya Khema's student, who is a master teacher in his own right in Ayya Khema's lineage, Lee Brasington. So I want to offer my enormous thanks to him for sharing these this year for our monastic community under these unique circumstances. And we just have the opportunity once to see the video, and then for all of us also, then we may be listening to and reflecting upon the same audio teachings that you have access to through this time. And I tell you, I heard about these videos from Lee when we first started Dhammadharini more than 15 years ago. Lee came to visit our very first small rented vihara in the San Francisco East Bay, south end of the Niles Historic District, on the bad side of town next to the railroad tracks. And he came to visit there, and then he mentioned these to me. And then also his wish that eventually, as Ayya Khema was among the first group of those brave women from Asia and also from the West, like herself from Germany, who undertook bhikkhuni ordination together, from Theravada traditions, who undertook bhikkhuni ordination together in 1988. So this is the first big movement of the revival of bhikkhuni ordination in the 20th century. And was enormously inspiring to me. Ayya Khema herself, together with Ruth Dennison, were just really raising the Dhamma banner and just teaching amazingly during the time that I was a teenager here in the United States, on the West Coast, and also around the world. I came on the Nuns Island, Parapadua in Sri Lanka, and around the country, then also in Germany, in Australia. Retreat centers were springing up, also at Dhammadina, and in Germany, as I mentioned, elsewhere in Europe. So, I've had the inspiration since then. I had it in mind since then, 15 years ago, the wish to be able to offer to our then imaginary Bhikkhuni Sangha Ayya Khema's heritage and inheritance to them. And we're having this opportunity now. Now we're in the first 10 days of our winter retreat and coming to the first Uposatha. And I'll just share with you briefly. I think our tech support, thanks to our tech support, has shared with you the link to all of these audio teachings. But I'll just let you know what we've gone over during this time. And some of you will have also gone over these and been practicing with these teachings together, likewise with all of our monastic community who is here together now. And so I'll tell you what we've been working with. The first of Ayya Khema's talks was given as an intro to a retreat. So suitable for us for the intro to our retreat on mindfulness of the body. Kaya Upasana. or Kayanusati, and contents of thoughts, Dhammanupasana, or Dhammanusati. Then we had a live intro from Lee Brasington to Ayya Khema's life and teachings. We learned some things that I had never known before. And then also really sensing the connectivity of how our interrelated lineages have connected and then spread throughout the world and are so much alive in our world right now, really in the fourfold or manifold community of the Buddha, having excellent practitioners and teachers of all fourfolds and more. I want to say that the fourfold community of the Buddha is really meant to be inclusive, not exclusive, just to let know that like bhikkhunis are included, and female teachers and lay teachers who are not monastics are also meant to be included, together with the most venerable bhikkhu sangha. But to think in an inclusive way, even amongst the disciples of the Buddha, that he himself asked us to remember for posterity as part of Sanghanusati, such a variety, including those who are like monastics, recluses, home recluses, or homeless wanderers of various kinds who weren't part of the bhikkhu or bhikkhuni sangha, as well as the monastic community that drew near to the Buddha, and householders who are involved in politics and leadership and with families and kids and working in all different kinds of professions and fields. Such a wide diversity, broad diversity. So Lee was talking to us about Ayya Khema's life and teachings, and then also we had a conversation on her teachings on jhana meditation, jhana samadhi, as compared to other contemporary teachers who are also well known, such as the Pa Auk Sayadaw, Shaila Catherine, Ajahn Brahm. Then we went back to Ayya Khema's teachings again on the purification of emotions, on Vedana. Then Bhavana contemplations, the Brahmaviharas and her introduction to all four of them, and the 5 daily recollections and their relationship to Vipassana practice. And then Q&A is what we had most recently. And due to the nature of the questions, then there's wide ranging topics in the Q&A on gratitude, which Ayya Khema in her teaching comes to again and again and again. I'm really getting a sense of how important gratitude practice was for her, like built into her daily practice, her daily teaching. Almost every single teaching she is mentioning gratitude and recommending even starting every formal period of practice with a gratitude practice, with loving kindness, metta, also mudita for ourselves, appreciation for ourselves as well as others. But in the teachings where she is teaching in the West, she seemed to be really sensitive to how much Western people or people in the westernized and international context really needed to be able to bring loving kindness and appreciation and gladness, mindful awareness of the goodness of what they're doing and the goodness of what they've done to themselves, and to really like establish a sense of that. And she's so clearly mentioning how what we cultivate and develop for our bhavana, how that grows and strengthens those aspects of ourself. So if there are any good parts of ourself, we can minimalize them, which some elements of Western culture teach us in a way to do that. It's like to minimize the good things that you do or the good things in yourself, and to be your own best critic, right? Well, what does it mean to be your own best critic and everyone else's best critic? Yes. So she's talking about being really like a good and honorable and noble and excellent friend to ourselves, being our own best supporter, and how if we do that, our compulsive need to be trying to find others to offer this to us gets touched upon and attenuated and deeply, deeply relieved, so that we can actually potentially even feel like whole beings unto ourselves that don't necessarily need to be getting something, validation, recognition, that we don't necessarily need someone else to be seeing the good qualities in ourselves for us to be able to feel and know them in ourselves, for us to be able to have a sense of being worthy and valuable, that seeing and knowing quality that the people who we think are the ones we want to love, or that we want them to be our loved ones, and how valuable that is, how much we cherish that, even how much we feel like we need that, how much we miss that from those who have war with us and have gone somewhere else, whether they are our children or our partners or our spouses or our best friends or our parents. If we have beloved parents, and like how they could love us for who we were, or our grandparents. I'm thinking about my grandma, such a special relationship with my maternal grandma. And maybe some of you have heard before, like she's such a character, right? And one of those kinds of people that quite a lot of people were like really love to criticize. One of those love to hate people, right? And she was also like that with a lot of people. So sharp tongued and judgmental and these things. And also so much love in her. And somehow, being her first granddaughter, it's like somehow being able to like see and know me and accept me and love and cherish me in a way, right? And often we won't tell people about like how much we really appreciate how much somebody else is like really loves and cherishes us. We keep it secret how important that is to us. Yes. And then how much we miss them if they're not there, how that filled a need in us. Ayya Khema is coming back again and again to how we ourselves can really recognize and hold those qualities. We can be the bearer of that level of awareness in ourselves, even when we thought that was happening with someone else. Truly, in a way, that was happening in our own bodies and feelings and minds, right? What we ourselves were experiencing of that was happening in our own bodies and feelings and minds. Unless we were a super empath, if we were a super empath, true empath, then we might know really what's going on inside their body, their feelings, their mind. But for all of us, really, it's about how we're feeling about that, right? And what we're creating in our own minds, and how we're feeling in our body when we're feeling known and cherished and loved and appreciated, and someone really sees the special good qualities in us. So, I was thinking as I was listening to her mentioning this several times, but wait, isn't that just an enormous ego trip? And yet to recognize as human beings truly, truly how important it is to us to be seen and known for our virtues, no matter how small, to be able to be seen and known and held and cherished and recognized. How important even for our lives. If we have no one who is able to do that, the people, they won't stay living many times. They won't. It's too painful, too hard. If all the people around, no one can really see you and know you as you are, no one appreciates, they see your faults, their different qualities, they're too busy, they don't see you at all, they don't know you at all. How awful it feels, how alone, how painful, how debilitating, how unsupported. And yet Ayya was coming back to again and again, really, recognizing when we think of those moments, those times, those relationships, recognizing with our mindfulness of the body, our mindfulness of feelings, our mindfulness of our mind, how through our memory, through our sati, we'd say our mindfulness, but our memory, how that's being turned on, how those karmas or sankharas, those fabrications, you can say, the great weaving of the web of the quality, the fabric of our experience of our life, how those things are being turned on. And then we feel those beautiful qualities in our bodies, in our feelings, in our hearts, in our minds. We see that beauty. And if we've developed the four foundations of four bases of the establishment of mindfulness, we see how through our memory, then how these qualities then get activated, they turn on, they grow, they spread. This is bhavana, they get cultivated, they get developed. We make much of them. And during the time that we're doing that, we're not doing other things, which could be more harsh, non-nurturing or nourishing, non-supportive to ourselves. We recognize when we do this enough in ourselves, how we then feel like we're whole, complete, replete with all these beautiful and virtuous qualities. Then this becomes what we ourselves have to share. So I'd like to pause here with this reflection. And I planned on each fortnight for this Uposatha program to really share a Dhamma reflection that's arising out of working with these teachings that we all have access to during this time. You don't have to listen to these talks or read Ayya books or videos to be a part of this Uposatha program. But for those of you who are, and for those of you who would like to join in a little bit or a lot, the Dhamma reflection is going to be arising from contemplating, from working with, from reflecting upon these teachings that we're practicing with during this winter retreat time. So I'd like to pause here and then now invite your questions. Let's have some time of Q&A and Dhamma discussion together. So many other reminders are coming up on my screen. Thank you again to our tech support, and greetings to Anagarika Tamalata, who is greeting everyone, and to Mudita Mary Doyle. I'm glad to see that you're here, saying that when you hear the Dhamma, you fall in love with Buddhism over and over again. Then tech support has shared with us the link to Ayya audio teachings. So now is the time. Welcome. Tech support, are you able to unmute? They can if you have a question or you would like to share something related to these teachings, if you're following along with them, or the Dhamma reflection and the meditation that's just been shared, welcome. Now is the time. I really want to give, I'll say, like hearty time of Dhamma discussion during this program. All of us who are here are studying, practicing, contemplating the Buddha's teachings with so much dedication. So this is the time for us to share together. Does anyone here at Dhammadharini Monastery have something they would like to ask or to share? You can prepare beforehand if you're going to be joining in this program regularly on the Uposatha, the next full moon, next new moon. If you have a question that comes up during this time, you're welcome to prepare it. Anyone here have a question? Something you would like to share about the practice? Dhamma reflection that you would like to offer yourself? I can't tell. Are there people who are trying to speak but who are muted? Or are each of you who's here, are you able to unmute yourselves if you would like to ask or to share something? Tech support says you are all able to unmute yourselves. So I hear that someone has unmuted themselves. You're welcome if you have a question or something you would like to share. So from Matthew to everyone, can you explain the difference between joy and appreciative joy? Thank you for asking that, Matthew. So, what a good question, because much of the time when we experience joy, it's coming from appreciation of something. Yes, we feel joyful about something. Yeah, would you agree? We have an idea about something that is connecting to the feeling of joy. Even, now being here in this space, when I came into this space, as we were preparing, then like the feeling from the Dhamma and meditation and precepts here in this hall was just so wonderful when I came in. And then I started to feel joy in my heart and joy in the body just from this, like such a beautiful, healthy, wonderful feeling. Yes? And then, of course, it's connected to the idea. This is a mental proliferation about that I just explained to you about why I think the feeling in this space is so good. I have the ideas of all of the good things that have happened in here. So this is a mental construct. Yes. And these things that I value, that I cherish, that I hold dear, then I'm feeling appreciation with regards to these things. And then that appreciation comes to be at the level of a quality that feels like a joy. Even also during our meditation time, then to recognize the beautiful feeling of the breath, being silent and mindful of the body, and then seeing how the breath changes and becomes like I don't even have words for the quality of the breath, but just so beautiful. So then there's like sense of beauty and appreciation for that. And then very easily, joy is like a close companion to this. Yes? When we become sensitive to joy, then also we can become aware of it very quickly. Mindful of the body, practicing mindfulness of the body. Sometimes we see the joy arising in the body first, in the heart center, even this area here, or people may feel it in different places, or some people even see it like a beautiful light that's turned on and then is becoming stronger and like clear and beautiful and radiant. So different people express this in a different way, or also with what's called the sound of silence here in this space. Even now I'm talking, but still I hear it. And when I attune to that, when I listen to that sound of silence, it's just like so beautiful. Then I feel that kind of sense of connection to the heart center, and so quickly just being attentive to it, and the sense of joy and clarity and beauty is there. Yes. So I'm talking about appreciation then for these perceptions or experiences and joy related to this. But appreciative joy, you might mean the idea of mudita with regards to others. I'm not sure. I'll just make a comment here, and it's a comment that I've made many times before that I think is so important. I even heard in Ayya Khema's teaching, she was talking about mudita in the 4 Brahmaviharas. She was talking about mudita particularly for others. And this is something that I think this idea arose actually with a particular German translator who, for the Brahma Viharas, then talked about loving kindness for self and also others, and like internally and externally, undifferentiated, boundless, limitless. And then also talked about compassion likewise, and then mentioned appreciative joy for other people and other things, and then talked about upekkha also internally and externally with regards to self and with regards to others, to practice internally and externally. And then people ask, why is mudita different? Yeah, I've looked at the Pali text. I'm not a super Pali scholar, but I can see Pali text pretty well. And I can tell for the Buddha's teaching that this is absolutely, in the suttas, this part is 100% the same with regards to all 4 of these qualities. It's not that the Buddha was saying like loving kindness for self and others and compassion for self and others and then appreciative joy only for others. Not so. Not so at all. And I feel it's really important for us. And as Ayya Khema herself was saying, as kind of like regular daily practice, to start with that level of mudita for oneself and the good of being present, the good of doing what we're doing, for also gratitude, an appreciation for others, for the circumstances as well, to have that be like a foundational practice. Obviously, even though she said that, which may have been based upon some other translator's translation from the Visuddhimagga or of the suttas, still she herself found how important it was in her own practice and with the fruits of her practice. She's talked again and again about really paying attention to what works. I was listening earlier on today to the Q&A that was on our calendar, I think for yesterday. And she's so much talking about being attentive to what it works and how it works, and really like seeing and knowing that, and then recognizing what is valuable through seeing how these practices work. She was saying that this is actually in a way even more important than like which practices amongst all of these practices like you think are good or you think are better, you think are more important. But as you're exploring, as you're working with them, to just be attentive to the benefit, and even seeing it, as she was saying, even in small, slow, subtle ways on a day-by-day basis, even over the course of a day, over the course of a week, seeing the changes, the effects that come from what you're working with, really being attentive to that and practicing the recognition and the appreciation. So I'll stop, and I see a number of other questions and comments have come up. And now, before I go to this next question, I'm going to change my own posture here, if I'm able to, within the Dhamma teaching seat contraption that I'm in, because of pain. And then we have a question here from Mudita, Mary Doyle. Oh, hold on. I'm going back a little bit more from Patipada. Can you share how to work with intense pain during practice, please? Yes, certainly. Happy to do so. Number one, it's important to check, are you doing something that's causing intense pain at the moment that might be good to, do something else? If your hand were in the fire or something like this, then, number one, to take appropriate action. Yes. So there are the things that we can like quickly and easily do something about. Even I found that I seem to be kind of like stuck in the seat. So I'm not sure if I can do something about it or not. But to really check, can we do something about it? And we'll see if this topples over, then we can have a chuckle together about it right now. Okay. So we share in having knee pain, yes? Having knee injuries and having knee pain. And so the knees were signaling to me like it's a good time to move to a different posture. I may or may not be able to do that. If I can do that and it's helpful, then good. But I've done that and the knee pain is not entirely gone. Yes. So we find sometimes there's something that we can do that's really helpful. And then sometimes there isn't something so simple and physically easy that we can do. And then really the next important thing, which is probably the most important thing, comes to be then, what kind of quality of mind and heart do you bring to it? Do you bring to bear upon these places of pain? I was talking before about the people who we think about as beloved people. And, sometimes they may be our parents or our grandparents or our beloved spouse or partner, or even our children or our dear friends. And, for some of them, especially those that we knew when we were children, or when we become our parents ourselves, if we do, then there's the quality of touch from those who are the beloved, loved ones. Sometimes people call us the healing touch. Sometimes they call it the magic touch. And sometimes it's just amazing. I know I can remember being a kid and I was always scraping my knees. I love to do, I had a skateboard. So I had my yellow banana board, and then I'd be doing kinds of going down the bumpy driveway and road and trying to do some kind of flip and this kind of thing, and then scraping and bumping my knees a lot. I love to do it, right? Why do you like to do the things like that? But it was just so fun. I love to do it. And then I get scraped knees and scraped elbows and all these kinds of things, and look at like these gashes and swelling up and these bruises and blood and things. And, then go to my sisters or my parents, my grandparents, and right. And then well, someone kiss it. Yes. If I kiss your scrape, will it make it better? Yeah. And, then I observe for some people, then they were crying when we were kids, and then someone kissed their owie, and then they were like calmed down and they stopped crying, and then they started to feel so much better. And then they put some kind of ointment on it or this kind of thing, and then it just felt so much better. Then they held them. Do we all know this story? Yes. And so it's so evocative if we remember this. And, what is it like when someone who really is like dear and beloved is touching us in that kind of way, or holding us in that kind of way, and we trust in their compassion, we trust in their ability for us to be able to bring our pain and our tears and our scrapes and our swellings and our hurts and our gashes and all of these kinds of things, and that we can run into their arms and be held by them, and they will kiss our sore and put salve on it. And I don't know, does the medicine really help or not? I remember we had myrthylate. Am I so old now? Do any of you know myrthylate? Myrthylate was this red stuff. Actually, it really burned. So it was so popular and the appropriate thing at that time, not like pain-relieving Neosporin, but like put myrthylate on your scrapes. And, it burned so much, but then, we felt like this is good and helpful and it's not going to be getting infected, and the people who we love us just momentary. Then we understood, then we start to feel better after that. So these qualities of being able to hold, to touch, to bring that kind of open-heartedness and welcome and care. And here's the thing, for the middle way, for that holding, for it to be like not too tight, right? But enough to feel held, enough to feel that there's like a sense of comfort when with our minds and our bodies, there's that sense of like love and care with awareness and with a kind of gentle but firm and balanced holding. So to really see and feel those qualities through our memory, we can bring up those qualities and then see what happens when I hold this body with these qualities. How does it feel in the heart? How does it feel at my fingertips? How does it feel when I consciously bring that kind of quality of heart and holding to the places that are like the knee that's screaming out, I'm painful. And to be able to bring that. And together also, I'd say, with a kind of like open-hearted patience, open-hearted patient awareness. This is the thing, many times it came together with a kind of quality of like understanding, with the compassion, with the love, with the appreciation. And the appreciation quality here, I feel, is important because it's all woven in together as an aspect of the love, isn't it? Because, when the people love you, then they don't tell you, you can never get on that skateboard again, no more of this. Because of the appreciation that comes with the love, then we understand about our hearts and the things that we're interested in the things that we've done. And then we have appreciation also for the results of that. If there's, strong love and compassion with that appreciative quality, right? So when you see them playing and they're really enjoying their playing on their skateboard, or as adults like to play also, whatever it is, then, or if it's us, then appreciating that. And then also, being born, being human, having these bodies which are subject to all kinds of hurts and breaking down and everything, and the results of our actions, so the things that we've experienced, then all of these things come with that. So there's the way to hold that with a kind of quality of kind understanding, even that ripens into wisdom, doesn't it? Yeah. So this is what I'd recommend. For those who are practicing deep mindfulness of the body, then you can also go to that place and look into it very deeply. You become like the deep sea diver and go down inside, even into the smallest and smallest and smallest things. You explore inside, then you find what seemed like something painful and tight and binding, and it's like it opens up, opens up, opens up, opens up. There's so much space there. And then being attentive to that, then your heart and your body, you feel the openness and the releasing, rather than the rather than the resistance and contracting. So when there's the resistance and contracting, we feel pain in a very different kind of way than how we experience physical sensations and physical conditions when there's that kind of openness and kind present awareness, or when we look deeply into the things and they open up and open up and open up, when there's really the space to be able to hold the things. Yes, so this is enormously important. Next, look, there are plenty of questions coming now. Oh, but I'm seeing the time, my goodness. So tech support is pointing me to time. So for those of you who know me, you know I can get on a Dhamma roll. And if I can get on a Dhamma roll, like on our Katina night, can talk about Dhamma and have meditation for like 8 hours straight, right? Because of the kind of love for the Dhamma and the timeless quality. So I'll let this be the last part of the reflection, and everyone is invited to carry over these questions. But I'll just say, tech support is letting me know that there was clarification that this is talking about physical pain, not mental pain. But look carefully and look closely. If you're practicing with mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of mind, and of Dhammas, then look very closely. Is it true that there's only physical pain and that there's no mental pain happening? Really check, is there any kind of resistance, rejection? Is there any kind of like pushing against it or pulling, or like, even just the really wanting it to go away? Darn it, just really want it to go away. Just check, is there any such thinking or not? Is there any such quality that's just like like this on it? Or there's so many varieties of it. Sometimes they can be subtle, sometimes they can be hiding, they can be so elusive. But if we develop the willingness, the interest to go and look for them and really like to touch them and hold them and embrace them as a beloved one, to really see and know and hold and care and understand in this kind of way, then see what happens, right? If there's not that rejection there, as it can really help to bring up the quality of mind and heart to imagine that someone else is giving us what we really feel would help, what we really feel would just be like the wonderful way to see and know and hold and care, and then really just recognize those qualities as they're arising in our own hearts, minds, bodies, what they're like. This is what it's like when those qualities get turned on in me. Those qualities that are the truly beautiful, needed, excellent, loved ones. Yes? So we have the potential, we have the ability to do all that. It's all here with us, within us. It's just a matter of like turning to it and turning it on and opening it up and allowing ourselves for these healthy, excellent abilities that we have for how we bring qualities of love, care, attention, kindness, understanding, wisdom to bear upon what's being experienced physically in our bodies, what's being experienced in our feelings, in our hearts, what's happening in our minds, all of that. Everything that's happened in the past, all in the present, everything that we imagine for the future, all of that, bringing these qualities to bear. We so much need this. These are our primary needs, even as human beings, even more than food and shelter, as we mentioned in the beginning. Even we don't have food, but if we have these qualities, then as human beings, it's like we have the part that's truly needed. But if we have plenty of food, even there's a whole smorgasbord and buffet, but it's like then your companion is with you and your companion is like, and then you're, something, or you're there alone, and then you're like, the things that we can say to ourselves, right? How you're showing up. Check how you're showing up. Being our own really best friend, best companion, best helper, best caretaker. Being really living the qualities of the needed, beautiful, healthy, helpful qualities of the beloved ones. Yes. So I'm going to stop there, and then welcome to our practice now in these next days, in these next 2 weeks, as the sliver of the moon will get brighter and brighter, and all things being impermanent, then we will all be like we will all have developed in so many small and medium and large ways in our practice, in our realization, in what we've understood. And we will meet together then under the full moon light, perhaps at Aranya Bodhi Hermitage, if there's the possibility to go there. Then I may be seeing you from there next time for our Uposatha on the full moon. I'd like to take a moment now to pause and to think about our dedication, our own hearts of dedication in ourselves. And about the Buddha's dedication, great dedication in teaching, offering the teachings for his entire life, showing up, present to the need, pain, suffering, inquiry, bringing Dhamma to bear upon all, everyone, everything. The qualities of our Kalyanamitas, beautiful exemplars, Dhamma friends, those who have been like the sun and moon to us, their radiance within us. All our benefactors and supporters. With loving kindness, gratitude, and appreciation. back to ourselves for our willingness to show up, to do what we feel called to, what's of value, meaning, to turn to what are the gems, the real gems. With this thought of the gems, beauty, virtues, merits, I like to think about radiating these out as a light, as waves, as sparkles, out to our whole world, and holding our whole world. Holding the whole world in our heart. With all living beings. With that heart of cherishing, kindness, care, love, appreciation. That quality of love that can hold, can pass through absolutely everything. All of time, all of space, unbounded, immeasurable, all circumstances. The whole universes within us. Bodies made out of stardust. Consciousness, aware, flowing, immeasurable. And then especially to bring this heart to the pains, difficulties, trials, challenges that we ourselves have experienced, that our loved ones have experienced or are experiencing, that all of humanity have experienced over the ages, are experiencing now. All kinds of living beings. All the joys and sorrows, challenges and rewards of sentient life. All forms of life. Formless, including formless. Fine and subtle forms of life. Even to the great devas, great meditation beings, share love, merits, blessings, and kindness with all of them. To our ancestors who are living and who've passed away back through the generations, share our love, kindness, blessings, and merits with all of them. May all beings receive the blessings of my life. May they also experience joy, bliss that is possible within this sentient existence, with consciousness. May the pathways to that bliss, clarity, purity, and freedom be open for them, as open likewise in my own heart, body, and mind. Sabbe satam Sukhita hontum awera hontum paya pacha hontum anika hontum sukhi atanang pariharantu sabbe satam Sabatuka pamochantum. To all as to myself. To all as to myself. So, blessings to everyone. With love and appreciation for this time of Dhamma sharing together on the Uposatha.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Anumodami.